what you gotta realize is this is all about comfort. So your frame, right? Your frame, your shoulder straps, you can add them anywhere. So for shorter people, you can bring them up higher, and for taller people, when you want the load, because you want the heaviest load on the highest part of your back. So some people bring their shoulder straps lower. That way when they load it, it's sitting higher on their back. That way you're not arched backwards, you're arched forward. Okay, so the kidney pad, right? It's shaped like this, again, for males. This part, so it hugs like your lower back. But for some females, I say some, like with, they're a little wider in the bottom region, you can flip it around. Like if you see on this one, it's facing downwards, so it digs into their lower region. So what you could do is when you put this together, you can flip it around. Again, it's all for comfort, right? And this as well, so if your shoulder pads go low, you gotta bring this lower as well. If it goes higher, you gotta bring this a little higher as well when you set this up. All right. So that's that part of the ruck. So when you first get your ruck, you want to take it apart and set it to your comfort, mess around with it. All right, so this is the standard issue how your ruck comes. All right, these load lifters are very important. All right, so when you put this on, these are load lifters. So what that's meant for is when you put this on, you bring your ruck, you cinch it down, see how it's still far back a little bit. You grab your load lifters and pull on them. And again, it brings the load higher up on your back. That's what load lifters are for. There's money. All right. So, sustainment pouches. You got 2 sustainment pouches. All right. And you got a pouch right here where you could put like your maps or any other documents that you take with you. All right, so you got a zipper in here and it divides your rucksack in half. So again, it depends how you load it, right? So what's the least thing that weighs here is your sleeping bag. So if you close that flap up, you can leave this part, this region for your sleeping bag. All right, next thing. This is not cinched good. You want to make everything as compact as possible. And you still got it. Alright, so for me, I usually keep the black sleeping bag in here, and then I leave the baby cover and the green part out, because that's the one you sleep with the most. Alright, so now see, it fits with ease. Alright, now you got stuff here for your most important stuff. The black part, you want to look into it. You don't want to stick your head in there because you'll suffocate. But you look at it through the light to make sure there's no holes. If you got holes, your stuff's going to get wet. So this is supposed to be turned inside out. Now you got the waterproof or water resistant stuff on the outside. That can go in there as well. But the only thing now is your sleeping bag is not waterproof, so you can get a trash bag, put it in the trash bag, and put it in there. All right. So right here, we'll go with this. Your usual packing stuff is to put this away, to store it. Some people fold it. You want this at the bottom because this is the last thing you're gonna get. So there's different ways of folding this. There's high-speed ways. If you go on YouTube, you'll find that Ranger guy. He'll show you how to fold things like a certain way. And then everything, you want to pack everything in here. All right, now what I do, and this is a way, it is not the way, but it is the way, a way. All right, what's the thing you always change every day the most, right? Socks and a t-shirt. So I grabbed the Ziploc bags and I have these already. Take all the air out. Let's say we're going out for 3 days. This is like a 3-day packing list right here. All right, that way at night, when you're with your red lens, you already know what they feel like, and you can just reach in there, grab it, change your socks and your t-shirt at night. All right, so you got that packed. All right, so far so good. You still got room for, check it in there. You still got room for other stuff. All right, so what weather gear? You guys pack cold weather? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can put your cold weather gear in here if it's part of the packing list. But again, if it's the last thing you're gonna use, so probably put this after your uniforms. You got more cold weather? Yep. All right, so now you still got room for your ASIP radio, a Camelback, whatever you need. Wet weather stuff, right? So your wet weather bottoms, I always put that like on the side pouch. That way it's easily accessible. All right, and then you can tighten these straps right here. Another thing, once you got everything packed, all this disgustingness like this, all right, you need to tape it up. So you roll it up, you're not tactical. All right, and then you'll go around and do it for all these straps. This right here, once you get it all cinched down, all the extra straps, you'll do it as well. All right, now this right here, this pouch, again, you could use it, so like your SOP standard, like you can take a picture of certain things.
Yeah.
And then like, hey, our SOP is gonna be, we tape up all the extra like straps.
Yeah.
All right. And then you can even get as details like, that way, when I come to a ruck, if I'm looking at the ruck, everybody's gonna put their wet weather stuff on the left pouch. That way, if you're in a hurry, everybody knows you can just go to whatever ruck, grab the poncho, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody knows instead of fumbling around which pocket they're gonna go to. So it's like, okay. All right, so this pouch, that's important. You can put like your knee and elbow pads on this pouch. Because again, when you go to the field, you're gonna be putting on at least your knee pads, and then you got room to put your radio. If you get issued a radio, you can put it in here.
Does the Kevlar go in the top too?
You guys don't wear a Kevlar?
It depends.
So, I mean, so like if you're gonna take a Kevlar in the field, what you don't want to do is have it like out like this, flapping around. You just put it like at the top.
Okay.
We got room.
They should be wearing it for most of the time.
Yeah, but even if you don't, right? You still have room.
Okay.
A long ruck march, I usually, or again, it all depends, but I don't use this that much. Even on long ruck marches, I don't really use it. What you could do is bring it back here and clip it together. Now it's out of the way. And then the same thing, like all these straps, always have your, I mean, you can have your load lifters. I always have them cinched up all the way, and I have this taped up. Cinch this all the way down. And this. And this is to keep the weight off. This, I mean, I think everybody knows how to use this, right? So now it should be, like, again, all the weight should be on your upper back. It all depends on how tall you are and stuff. Right? So, like, you can do your marking systems, right? So let's say do you have squads?
Yeah.
Okay, so in like the infantry units, what they do, they're like, they'll be, you can do like 3 marking tape or 3 little like slits, right? Alright, so it's not supposed to be like this because it's just paper tape, but so you'll put it like around the ruck frame and you do 3 of these, 1, 2, 3, so you know, like, oh, that's a rucksack from 3rd squad, right? If we had reflective tape, you can cut a strip and you can put it in here and then you can write your name on there. That way, you know, like at night, and when you flash a flashlight on it, it glows back so you can see your name at night with the red lens. Or you can put it here. Issued MREs and stuff, right? Again, you have all kinds of room right here with your sleeping bag. All this, like if I'm able to put my hand in there, that's room for stuff. You shouldn't have room to... You can put your MRE right there, right? Or let's say you're in the field and you're already wearing your knee pads, now you got room for your MREs right there. Infantry guys, they don't warm up their food. You don't need that, right? This stuff, you don't need that either. Crackers, they're good for road marches. That's good for road marches. Peanut butter is always a must. Spoons, you don't need that. All right, this stuff, you don't need that. That's good. Main meal, of course. You're supposed to just cut the slit and just eat it. You're not supposed to warm it up and stuff. I mean, you could if you want, but you don't have to.
They won't.
Hot sauce, always a must. All right, so then you repack all this stuff. All right, now you got the important stuff. If you know you're gonna be out for a long road march, put these in your pocket and you can snack on them later. But other than that, look at that, good to go. You got a meal for like 3 days now. So your meal's packed. I can even fit another one. The reason we get rid of that stuff is because ounces make pounds and pounds makes pain. There we go. So you're good to go to the field for like a week. You got your food, everything you need to survive. Camelback. All right, so I'm a righty, so I'm always gonna have my ruck on. My weapon is gonna be sling, and then this one is always gonna be on my weapon ready, right? So since my hose, I want my hose coming on my left, because my left arm is gonna be free to hydrate myself or whatever I need. So once you fill this bad boy up, again, all these straps, you gotta tape them down. You got your hose coming out right here. Your hose, you can kind of like feed it through one of these so it's not flapping around. So now, when you put it on, so again, you got all this stuff. This, let's put it right here. That way if you get thirsty, you already have it right here. Again, we'll just, this is on your weapon, you can drink water. You just let it go, rocking around. You got your canteen pouches, 2 of them, grenade pouches, and then you got your magazine pouches. Alright, so this is your standard flick. You can see this person was high speed. They kind of taped up their stuff. I mean, they did an okay job, but you could do better. Well, let's work with it. Okay, so. Alright, so to make this, let's say, I think this was a small person. So, yep, see how it's not tight enough? Or, excuse me, not big enough? So back here, right, you got these. You can loosen these up. Now this comes out more. Let's say 2. I'm OCD, so I do 2 on one side and I'll do 2 on the other. I know, like, all right, so. All right. Alright, so you want this a little bit lower, not too high up, right? And that's what these straps are for. These will make it go up and down. Alright, but it's supposed to be like this. Some people, you can flip this belt around. So this part will be on the front side. That way when they put it on the buckles, because there's buckles in here, flip that thing around. That way they put it from the front. Oh, this one, yeah. They'll put this on like this, and then they just buckle this part. So again, it's all your preference, right? They just flip the belt around, and then they never open this part. If you're doing it this way, that means you're never gonna open this part because the belt's right there. So as you can see here, they just flip the belt around. So this is for, again, it's just your preference how you want to wear this thing. I don't like this because when you have all your gear and you got a rucksack and you need to take this off right away, and like even if you don't have your ruck, but you start putting all kinds of stuff on here, it's like you can't reach this. Now with elbow pads, all kinds of stuff, you're tired, you can't reach back there, take it off. Instead of right here, you just zip it up. Alright, so canteen pouches, right? So again, you might need help. You can do this by yourself, but you might need help with the battle buddy. Alright, so what you want your buddy to identify is you're gonna put your ruck on. Alright, so now you want your canteen sitting on either side of where your ruck falls. That way when you're wearing your LBV or your flick and you put your ruck on, you don't have your canteens too far back that now it's falling on your back. So right here, usually the safest bet is you go just one here. So you go in, loop it through that. So that way it cinches it to the foot. And this one's missing a. All right, so we got one canteen in, and then do the same on the other side, right? Same thing, just do it. Okay, now it's on the side, and you still got ruck for your waist belt. And then I'm a righty, so I shoot with my right hand, all right? So when you change your magazine, you're gonna change it with your left. So I put all my ammo pouches on this side. So I would put all my ammo pouches here. Like so, right? Again, my left hand is the one that's always gonna be free. So I would put a grenade pouch up here for my compass, because you're not gonna get issued grenades, so you might as well use it for your compass. That way everything's free and you can pull it out, get an azimuth, and ready to go. And then you leave this side open for, like, if you're gonna buy your high speed pouch where you're gonna put all your lickies and chewies. Alright, so. And the same thing with these pouches. Alright, you wanna weave one in. Alright, so you got one ammo pouch, you can put another one, and you still got room for, your canteen pouch. Let's say they give you one of these, you still got room for one of those right here, or you can put this one on this side. So it should look. You can put your grenade pouches on either side, and the same thing, it has this, so you can weave one and then bring it in through here, clip it on there. And then the same thing, all these excess like straps, you want to tape them up. Don't use silver tape, that's not tactical. Use black or green. I know it's ACU, but what can you do? Like, once you get to your original unit, you can go and get like your name tape sewn on here. That way you know it's yours.
Yeah.
Alright. And the same thing with your rucksacks. But this is when you get to your guard unit or regular unit, you can get your name tape sewn on right here. But their units will have regular SOGs. Green sleeping bag. Right, so let's say you woke up, you gotta get up, you packed up all your stuff, your green sleeping bag. Since you didn't use anything, I always put this like on the outside, just shove it down the edges. But always have your bivy sack on top of this. That way it's water resistant. Not waterproof, water resistant. Because that's the first thing you go for when you're like done patrolling. You want to get some sleep. Everything fits in. You got your two pouches. You can. It's up to you. It's up to you all if you want to make this like the sleeping bag one. I say sleeping bag because it's the lightest part. Uniforms and stuff like that. That stuff's heavy. So again, you want that at the very top of your back. But then people are like, oh yeah, but look, it looks gross, and you still got room for stuff here. But you want it small, and then the biggest part of your back. Right? So the biggest part should be up here. Makes sense. You guys are all college kids. It's all about fulcrums. Right. All right. So this one, it's basically this, but this one's on steroids. It got the Ziploc, and it gives you that, so you can even open the zipper. This one doesn't allow you to. It's basically breaks it down in half for you already. Now you could open the zipper up and put the weatherproof bag all the way down.
Okay.
Then again, it's like you have your uniform all the way at the bottom.
Right, and then they're digging. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not what we want.